Hey, Waldemar, how are you?
Hi, Tommy. Good to meet you.
Nice to see you. It's a great old house, but it's a busy street.
Yes, it is a little bit.
Well, show me what you have.
Come on in.
Oh, look at this, a work in progress. I feel like I'm at one of my job sites.
Yeah, thank you. I'm trying to keep the dust away from the living room.
Oh, yeah, I know that trick well. And this stairs, who's doing all the work on the stairs?
It's actually me and my wife, trying to fix it.
Good for you. Well, you got it all screwed off and glued off. That's not going to squeak. What are you doing with the floorboards?
It's reclaimed floors from this house, so actually we're trying to salvage as much original parts as possible.
So you're going to use those on the treads and stuff?
Absolutely. Paint up the risers. Hopefully it'll look good.
Great. Well, the stairs are the ultimate challenge, and my hat's off to you for attempting it. It looks like you're doing a good job.
Well, thank you. But I got a way bigger challenge than that, and it's actually this door.
This front door?
Yeah.
Okay. What's the problem? Oh, boy, look at the carvings. This is a nice door.
Well, we're trying to save it for that very reason. We think it's beautiful and probably original to the house, but the draft is just killing us.
The draft? Well, yeah, it looks like you have a little bit of a gap on the bottom there.
I think we took about 4 layers of previous floors, and then we put one more layer, but because of that, it created that gap.
Oh, I see. So when you opened the door, yeah, oh, I see. It's because if there was 4 layers on there, they had to cut the door to make it open or let it open. Wow.
Right now, we have that temporary strip over there, but you can really feel the draft coming in.
Yeah. Well, I think the door is beautiful, but just looking at it real quickly, I would say it's probably not original to the house.
Really?
Yeah. It's too thick for this jamb. The door should be flush or inset slightly to the jamb.
I see.
All right, but if you're up for it, I'll go get some tools and we can fix this.
Let's do it.
All right. All right, now the first thing I notice when I come up to the door is this big gap on the bottom. On this side, it's about 1 1/8 inches. On this side, it's about 1 1/4 inches. We need to fix that. The other thing is I know that the door is too thick for this jamb. And lastly, it's also out of plumb, and I can see that. The way you check a door to see if it's out of plumb is when you stop the door, it should stay in that position if it's plumb. If I let the door go and it falls into the space, it means that it's leaning into the house. All right? Now, to fix that, I need to know how far out of plumb it is. The easiest way to do that is with a plumb bob. And this is nothing but a weight on a string. So just attach it to the top of the door. Pull the string out, let the plumb bob steady. Now we check it. Now the first number I need is this one right here. It's just 2 7/16. I then go down to the bottom with 3 11/16. So that tells me that I need to take 1 1/4 inches out of the top of the jamb down to nothing.
I see.
All right, to get started, why don't you start removing that weather stripping? Now we're going to measure in 1 1/4 inches at the top and snap a chalk line down to nothing at the bottom and remove all that material. And that will make this side of the jamb plumb. All right, because we moved the stop of that rabbit out further, we now have to adjust the mortise of our hinge on the inside to meet the same dimension as we have on our door.
Okay.
But we want to make it just a little bit thicker, so I'm going to adjust my scribes right there and allow about 1/16 of an inch. Okay, so now I'll just transfer that to our jamb. Take my scribes, hold it against the stop of the jamb, and trace it down. That's how far we have to move this mortise in.
I see.
Okay, let's try the door, see how it closes. All right, closes good. Seats right up against the jamb nicely, all the way around.
Wow, what a difference, Tommy.
Okay.
Looks great.
Now we're going to deal with that space on the bottom. All right, this is the weather stripping that we're going to install on the bottom of your door. It's actually an automatic weather stripping. So when you install it and the door closes, this little pin right here hits the jamb. When the door closes, it pops the weather stripping down, filling that gap.
Oh, that's beautiful.
Now normally, this would slide up into a dado that we would make on the bottom of the door, making it flush on the bottom. This coincidentally happens to be 1 1/8 inches high, and your door is 1 1/8 inches away from the threshold here, but 1 1/4 inches away from the threshold here.
Okay.
So we have to cut 1/8 of an inch off of this side for the clearance that we need to close when the door closes.
I see.
All right, so what we're going to do is we're going to add a piece of wood on each side of the door to create our own dado.
And it's going to cover the aluminum.
It's going to hide it, and we're also going to lengthen the door.
Makes sense.
I want to make the glue joint strong, so I put 2 rabid cuts on each side of the door before I add my filler pieces. All right, while we're waiting for the glue to dry on our filler strips, let's install the weather stripping around our door here.
Okay.
Okay, now we can reapply the weather stripping you had, or I actually like this weather stripping right here. It's actually a silicone-based weather stripping that will fit right into a dado, right where the rabbit is made tight in the corner. If you look on the weather stripping, there's actually like a T-shaped barb right there.
Oh yeah, look at that.
Okay, so what we need to do is cut a dado right down there to match the shape of that.
How do you do that?
Well, we have a router right here with a V base that fits tight into the corner, and the bit is an 1/8 inch bit, but at the top is a T shape that will give us a dado with a T inside, so that will lock into it. The gaps between the door and the jamb is different on the 3 sides. So I'm going to have you use a smaller weather stripping on the hinge side and a thicker one on the top and striker side. This will prevent the door from over compressing the weather stripping, so it will last longer. Once the glue is set, I can cut my filler pieces to length and width and give everything a good sanding. These score marks will help the filler pieces blend in with the stiles and rails. Now we can install the channel and the weather stripping. Then rehang the door. Okay, get that top in.
To me a little bit more. There it is.
Okay, good.
More to me. There.
Okay, good. And I added this plastic push pin so the head of the screw won't dent the jamb. We also moved out the strikers, so now the door should come right tight against the weather stripping. Why don't you give it a try? There you go.
Wow, what a difference.
Nice and tight. Now once you get this door painted up, you'll never know that we made it longer.
A brand new old door. Thank you, Tommy.
My pleasure. Thanks for your help.
All right, Tommy, I don't even know where to start. Yes, I do. Chiseling the entire length of the jamb? Really?
Well, it's just to show the homeowner that you can do that whole work by hand. And that's the way we used to do it years ago.
Yes.
But, you know, you can set up a straight edge with a trim router and a following bit and just come right down along that and then trim it out nice and straight. But no matter what you do, you're still going to have to finish it off at the top corners and across the bottom with a chisel.
Although I was thinking oscillating saw, although I mean, I guess that's kind of a rarefied tool for a lot of people as well.
Yeah, I mean, that's another big investment if you're going to just go and do one door.
Speaking of rarefied tools, come on. Are you kidding me? A router with a cornering jig.
I love this
Made
thing.
for weather stripping.
Yeah, I have I have one, and I got to say, you know, you don't use it all the time, but when you use it, it's magical. It's 90-degree base. It's got a T at the router bit. So,
Yeah, so that idea of the T, what is it? So it actually, even though you drill the hole in, when you zip it along, it creates something for that barb to pop into?
yeah, that barb is actually T. So when it goes into the hole, it flattens out, and then once it's in there, it snaps out, and so now it's harder to pull it out.
Right. Now, you could have, if you don't have this, you can go with the alternative, obviously, which is just putting a bead in there and, you know, adhering a flat weather stripping.
This company sells a variety of sizes because you have to make sure you have the size right with the gap, but they also have another option where you can buy it just as a tube.
Oh, I see.
All right, and so then if you take the tube, you can run a bead of adhesive right into the rabbit there and stick it in place.
Yes.
If you have to change it though, then you pull it out and you got to remove all the adhesive and then redo it. With this, I can just reach in, pull it out, and put another one in.
So if this wears out in 5 or 10 years, it's an easy fix once you've
fix.
gone through this,
Yeah.
which is exactly why I thank you so much for giving me this.
Well, I'll let you borrow it. I don't know if you can handle it, but.
Thanks for watching. This Old House has got a video for just about every home improvement project, so be sure to check out the others. And if you like what you see, click on the subscribe button to make sure that you get our newest videos right in your feed.